Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want job. If no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush, well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush, well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. For me, Jackpata, I dey go Ghana. You never thought you dey from papas. Which kind money we never see before. Cause hello me, got me feeling I'm the one. Ajay. Can never take my cake away. Ajay. You can't count my grace. I just day my lane. You no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush, well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush, well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. Now gotta make my top in the rush. The kind money we touch. In the rush, right when it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. There's no darling. Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want job. If no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush, well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush, well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish, they won't fight us. If them they run, them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. For me, Jack Bata, I dey go Ghana. You never thought you dey from papas. Which kind money we never see before. Cause hello me, got me feeling I'm the one. Ajay. Can never take my cake away. Ajay. You can't count my grace. I just day my lane. You no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. Now gotta make my top, it rush. The kind money we touch. It rush, well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. There's no darling. Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals they in human form. Body man nobody like walk, but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap ain't no wrong. But it they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap, it they rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. It they rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bongile Mamadou, and I'm the SAICE Marketing Specialist. Thank you so much for joining us today for the second SANRAL SAICE Series webinar, a post-awards conversation. Tonight, we're going to be communicating with Charlotte, our Young Engineer Award winner from last year's SAICE SANRAL Awards. And then also we're going to be highlighting our project, which was the community-based project winner of the year, which was the eThekwini Municipality. So today, the purpose for these webinars is for us to highlight our winners and to also just put a spotlight on our members to ensure that you are encouraged to enter the awards, but then most importantly, to give you a platform to actually just communicate about your career and to encourage other people who are able to then take from your story, and then after that they will also be able to enter the awards and it become a community, and then we are all SAICE members after all. I see we have a lot of people in the room. Thank you for making the time. The platform that we're going to be taking today will be so it'll be 2 sessions. One will be with Charlotte, who will be communicating about her career, and she's going to be communicating with us for about 15 minutes. And then the second slot of the webinar will take on a panel discussion where our Siyabonga Dibanze, who is our structural division chairperson, who will then moderate that session with our project winners. So I'm just going to give a round of applause for Charlotte, and she's going to take us through her career and then what this win has done for her career, and then also maybe encourage some of you in the room today. Thank you so much. Charlotte, please get your camera ready, and then everybody can hear your story.
Thank you so much, Swangile. Good evening, colleagues. I'm just going to put in my camera for a bit for those that don't know me. Apologies, I'm sitting in my car because I'm running away from my son, but yeah. Anyway, so I'll quickly switch it off and then I'll share my presentation. Thank you. Can you guys see can you just confirm, Swangila, if you can see?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet, Charlotte.
It's coming on. There we go.
Yes, now it's on.
Okay. Okay, Swangila, can you just confirm for me if you can see the slide, that introduction first slides on your side?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you. Good evening again, colleagues. Thanks, Swangile, for the introduction. As Swangile has just introduced me, my name is Charlotte Pasha, and yeah, for those of you that know me very well, you are aware that I don't like speaking in public, so please bear with me during the session. So I was asked to come and speak about my short career journey, as well as my experience post the SANRAL SAICE Awards 2023. As some of you may know, that's where I received the Young Engineer of the Year award. I just prepared this short presentation that takes you through my journey, and hopefully at the end of it, you will get to know me a little bit better. So for the presentation, I'll take you through my educational background and then a short summary of my career overview, my professional registrations, what I've been involved in terms of voluntary work in the industry, my contribution relating to giving back to the people, and lastly, what I regard as my achievements and my post-awards experience. So I grew up in a village called Mushalets in the deep rural, dusty parts of Limpopo province. I have an older sister and I was raised by my grandmother, like most of us in the room, I think, because our mom worked far from home. So sadly, when I was 10, my mom passed away and I went into relatives' care. So my upbringing was not easy, as one can imagine, having lost a mom at a young age, but that's a story for another day over coffee. We don't have time for that today. So what I just wanted to say is that even though I went through hardships growing up, looking back, I wouldn't change anything because it shaped me to become who I am today. And most importantly, they motivated me to work harder in order to get out of the situations that I was in at that time. So I did my matric in 2010 at Goratlo Secondary School in Limpopo. Went on to pursue my undergrad degree in civil engineering at the University of Johannesburg. I then worked for a few years and decided to do a postgrad master's degree in engineering management, specializing in project management at UJ as well. Currently, I think I forgot to put on this slide as I was speaking. Currently, I work at Infrastructure South Africa as a civil engineer. Sure. So my short career spans over 7 years. I started working in 2017 at Begin as a civil engineer for about 3 years. Then I went on to acquire some site experience where I worked as an RE for about a year. Went back to the office, continued with consulting services as a civil engineer for another year or so. And then because I've always had a passion for project management, in 2022, I decided to change careers. I moved to a different business unit, still within Begin, where I worked as a project manager for about a year until I decided to leave Begin and join GIB as a PM still for a short while until recently now I'm at Infrastructure South Africa as a civil engineer. In terms of professional registration, in 2022, I registered as a professional engineer with EXA. Then in 2023, I registered with SACP CMP as a professional construction project manager. Also a corporate member of SAICE as of April 2023. So I just wanted to spend 2 seconds on this slide to speak to the young people in the room about breaking barriers and the power of believing in yourself. This is relating to the professional registrations that I've acquired. So just a bit of background, what I went through with the registrations. When I decided to submit my application to EXA, I remember like a lot of people with like self-doubt, like doubting me. I remember somebody telling me that I wasn't ready and that I won't be able to register, as an example. So I remember even speaking to someone and they were speaking about a post-failure plan of how they will assist me to meet the outcomes that EXA was going to fail me in when I come back from my interview. You know, those kind of talks in the corridors. I remember just leaving the conversation feeling a lot of doubt, but I went home and I reflected and I decided that that particular person, as an example, was not going to be the judge, if you get what I mean. So I reflected on that and it motivated me to even work hard in just preparing for my submission. I submitted and then I got the registration despite all the voices that were in my head at the time that would have demotivated me in another situation. And so the same thing happened with the PRCPM registration. I remember attending a training session in preparation for the submission for the PRCPM in a room where I was the youngest and I was the least experienced, with people that had 15, 20 years experience and more in a table where I felt small in the room and I was filled with self-doubt, but I had to break through that. So post the training, I went home and I put in the hours and I worked on my submission and I submitted the application. Today, I'm registered and believe me, none of the people that were in the room with me have registered. So I've also had comments like, how did she win that award? How did she get that job? How did she get that position for 1, 2, 3? And what I just wanted to spend time on this slide to speak to people in the room about is if it's the saying that if you want it hard enough, you put in the work and the time to get it. And that will give you motivation, and it will motivate you to work harder, and you'll see as you gain the confidence when you start doing things that you'll have the courage to start entering rooms that people are even scared to knock on, and you'll get there, and you'll do things and people wouldn't understand, because of that courage and the fact that you now believe in yourself. So you can do anything you put your mind on. And so with that, I just wanted to encourage those of us that are eligible to register to please submit your applications to EXA to register as professional engineers. Moving on, I've also been involved with several voluntary organizations in the industry. This began a long time ago when I was still a student. We had a student society called the Society of Women in Engineering and Technology suite at the University of Johannesburg. I was a project manager for that organization. Then post that and post grad, I've been involved with SAICE Joburg branch as their community outreach and initiatives manager. Then I was also involved with the National Society of Black Engineers, also called NSBESA, on the academic portfolio committee committee as a committee member, as well on the same organization on their women portfolio committee as well. I was also involved on the SAICE Knowledge Trailblazers Committee as well. I've served on the CISA YPF Gauteng North Branch as the vice chairperson, and currently I'm serving on the SAICE Joburg branch as the chairperson. I'm also working with the University of Johannesburg as an external examiner for their final year students. And recently I'm serving on the executive board of SAICE. In terms of community engagement, I have my own NPO called Tehas Taba Foundation. So with the foundation, we run a couple of initiatives there aimed at education, skills development, mentorship, and assisting homeless people. So please follow us on our social media pages. We are on LinkedIn, we are on X, and we are on Facebook as Tehas Taba Foundation. So speaking from the foundation side, we're looking forward to having your support, your donations, and also collaborating with your companies on their CSI initiatives as well. So these pictures just show some of the initiatives that I've been involved in as far as community engagement is concerned. Here I was at the Val with the team from Joburg. We're doing a headover for a blanket drive that we ran at the branch. I think the next photo is this was in Tembisa in a children's home. We were doing a handover for the Christmas boxes. I was here with the previous president of SAICE, Mr. Stephen Kaplan, and his wife, Helen, and some of the team members from the SAICE Joburg branch. Then we went again, we did some a calculator drive where we donated some calculators to Widumen Secondary School in Tembisa as well. This was on Tehas Taba Foundation, where we did a kitchen soup drive in June last year in downtown Joburg at Bree Taxi Rank. This one is my partner at Tehas Taba Foundation, Karabo. We were doing shopping here for our sanitary pads drive that we ran last year, and we donated sanitary pads to a school in Soweto as well. Then this one was where I just received like a token of appreciation for participating in the speed mentoring session that was held by CISA and the UJ Civil Tech Forum. So that's like a mentorship side of my community engagement story. And then I'm also involved as a mentor on the Masilulekani Candidacy Mentoring and Support Program as well. So when I was in university, I was awarded top final year student by the UJ Department of Civil Engineering Science. That was in 2016. And last year I won the SAICE Young Engineer of the Year award. I'm currently also nominated for the Women of Stature Awards in the Women in Engineering and Mining category. And as of last night, I got awarded the SAICE Project Management and Construction Division's Young Constructors Award for 2023. So with regard to my experience post the SANRAL SAICE Awards, the experience has been amazing. The award has provided me with networking opportunities. It has provided me with recognition for my work, and that has enabled me to continue to improve, building myself, continue working on myself and building my brand. It has provided me with opportunities such as serving on the SAICE Executive Board. It has boosted my self-confidence and provided me with a platform to assist other people on things like mentoring, serving on community work, and pushing advocacy for STEM education for young girls, which is one of my passion as well. Then I think that brings me to the end of my presentation. So in closing, I hope that my journey was inspiring to a certain extent to some of you. What I don't want to is for people to look at Charlotte and think that because I've done 1, 2, 3, then I have things easy. Which is not the case. So nothing comes easy. I mean, I'm putting in work still to build myself and my brand, and I wish we had time to speak about the sweats and the crying behind the scenes that I do as I fail in the things that I'm doing, and I get up and I show up. So I was once told to never look like my problems. So when you see me in the streets or you see me on LinkedIn and I'm doing 1, 2, 3, I tend to not want to look like my problems. So you wouldn't see obviously the stuff that goes behind the scenes to what you are seeing in the front. I mean, I'm still continuing to build myself. I still have so much to do and so much to learn. I mean, I'm only 30 years old, so I hope one day I'll grow into someone that all of you would be proud to have represent the industry somewhere. As Charlotte, making you proud because I'm still young and I need mentorship as well. I'm still doing so much, and I'm just happy that with the little that I've done, I'm also giving back with regards to mentorship to people that are younger than me, while I'm also receiving support to people that are more experienced, more experienced than me in the industry as well. With that being said, thank you so much for your time, Sibongile. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
I'm here fighting tears back. This was very, very inspiring. I think I speak for everyone. It was very, very inspiring, Charlotte. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And with that, I'd like to just open, if anybody has a few questions for Charlotte, because I want to just break it. And as much as we are in the spirit now, maybe if you want to ask her questions, we can unmute you. So just raise your hand. And if you have a question, then we'll unmute you.
I've unmuted. Wow. Tabwianji.
You can call me TJ in short.
Okay, apologies.
No, it's okay. But you did well. You did well. Sorry, Spongile, is it okay to give a comment, or is it only questions?
No, you may.
No, I'm sure everyone would agree with me. Your story, Charlotte, is very, very inspiring and very touching. I want to just highlight one point which I especially was touched by, is where you said people didn't believe or they doubted your experience, and yet you proceeded and got registered. You're not alone in that type of situation, and I just want to say thank you. It's nice to hear that someone actually made it. Yet others who obviously, with their experience, have an opinion to think you don't qualify, but you made it, is motivation for others who experience such a thing. So I just want to say I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, TJ.
I see we have another hand in Tabela. I can't see who it is.
Yes, okay. Kamogelo, you can unmute and say your piece. Just unmute, Kamogelo.
Hey guys, I'm not sure if I'm audible or.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah. I posed my questions on the chat panel. I don't know if you guys can see, but then they are centered around the same question. Because like, as I am a fresh graduate from UJ as well, and then I'm embarking on the career with Wally. So my question was like, you having to transition from having to graduate from varsity maybe to a workplace, but how did you deal with the whole transition, and what did you do to stop belittling yourself, saying now you coming in and working as in a broad organization, and now people are expecting things from you and you're not at that level yet. What did you do to overcome that fear and that challenge? Thank you.
Thanks, Kamogelo, for the question. So with regards to the transition, I think my experience was I got very good advice when I got into the industry. I was told that you mustn't act as if you know everything. So my tip was for me to collaborate or work with people that had more experience and learn from them, because what we tend to realize is that as much as university gives you the context in terms of like schoolwork, what's the word that I'm looking for, like that like the English is running away, but they give you the contents in terms of things on paper. I'm looking for an English word that's running away. You'll find that the experience on the ground is actually different from what you have learned with the knowledge that you got in university. So that was the whole thing, to sort of work and learn from people that had more experience and people that were not necessarily like your engineers. I learned a lot from someone in Begin who was actually like a cat. He knew so much and he was older, and I respected that, and it didn't matter to me that the person was not an engineer, because I understood that I was there to learn and better myself to become a better engineer. And so I see I'm reading your questions, and the other thing is I've also seen that power of networking, or joining organizations like your SAICE, your CISA, meeting other young people and learning from other people, as well as the power of mentorship, having somebody in your life that has gone through what you want to see, identifying a person that sort of lives the values and is doing what you aspire to do, and asking that person to be your mentor so they can guide you. That also assisted me as well. I hope I answered your questions, Kamran.
Perfect. I've seen Tabeleng's hand is also up, so can we take just one more question from Tabeleng?
Thanks, Sibongile. Charlotte, thank you so much for that really inspirational session. I think the one thing that is in my mind, and I want to know if you are doing it in any ways, is how to pay it forward. So you've spent a lot of time grooming yourself, and obviously went through quite a few challenges to get to where you are. What are you doing to sort of bring others up that are coming up behind you in paying it forward? Yeah.
Thanks, Ntabeleng, for the question. So I think I'm involved now with different organizations where I'm offering mentorship, obviously to a younger generation than me, because I don't know everything because I'm also young myself, but because with the little bit of 7 years experience I have, I'm able to guide the younger generations, the graduates that are coming out of varsity and the like. So I'm giving back in that sense. I've been receiving a lot of requests on LinkedIn for mentorship from last year post the award. I've had a couple of sessions with like a lot of people that have asked me about my journey with the extra registration, which I've had sessions to guide them with regards to what they need to do. And obviously with my foundation as well, Terasi Chava, where I'm also offering mentorship on that level to also high school girls, and being involved with the Masilikani program as well, they're guiding graduates onto registration. So I'll say that offering mentorship is my way of like guiding and paving back a way for other people as well.
That is so beautiful, Charlotte. Thank you so much. I think what we can take from this is that you have to always believe in yourself no matter what anybody says to you and about you. And you just also have to take everybody else that helped you and those you can help with you forward. Thank you so very much for sharing your story. And I hope, and I can see though, that it has touched a lot of people, and I hope that it'll encourage them to always believe in themselves and also enter awards and also be in networking sessions that are going to help them within their career. So with that, thanks, Charlotte. We're going to move to the next part of our webinar. If there are no other questions, and then if there are, please just put them in the chat box, and then we'll then look at them at the end of the webinar. Okay, I'd like to just introduce Siyabonga Dubanza, who is a project manager at SANRAL, and he is going to be the moderator for our next part, which is going to be our panel. It'll be a panel discussion about the community-based project that was the Mbokodweni Pedestrian Bridge, which was in KZN. So I'm going to have Siyabonga on the panel with Olile, who is a civil engineer at the eThekwini Municipality, as well as Esona, who is also a civil engineer. And then we're going to have Uzibuse, who is the contractor for the project itself. Please open your cameras so that everyone can see you, and then we can start the panel discussion.
Okay, afternoon, everyone. Maybe just a bit of correction there. My name is Siyabonga Dubazana. I'm a civil engineer, but I don't work for SANRAL. Yeah. The purpose of this discussion is to discuss the project, which was one of the winners of the community-based project category at SAICE last year. I've got a panelist that will help us to go through the project. As Sibongile has said, we've got Olile Mkati, who is the project manager at eThekwini Municipality, and we have Esona, who was a resident engineer, as well as Uzibuse, who was a site agent of the construction company called Natia Construction. So maybe to just kick off the discussion, I would like to ask Olile to just tell us about, why this project was required and what it means to the community of Mbokodweni.
Good afternoon, Siyabonga, and the SAICE members. So I am having troubles with opening my camera. I'm not sure what's wrong. But to kick off the meeting, like to start with the question that was posed. So the project was initiated. We have prepared the slides as well. I'm not sure if I would be able to share them, but let me just try. Where do you share? Yeah. Slides. Can anyone help me with sharing slides on Teams? Where do I go?
Kwanile, if you
Yes.
see right at the top where there's the red button leave, right to the left of it, there should be an icon that says share. Are you on your laptop?
Yes, I'm on my laptop.
Yeah. So just to the left of the leave button, there should be a button that says share.
Oh, okay. It was already open. It's showing me like some well, they shared there.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the share button, but I can't see my presentation where it is. There are other things here when I'm saying share, or like share my window. Let me try sharing my window.
Or just say share screen, and then it will share everything that is on your laptop. It will make things easier for
Okay.
Otherwise, if you can't, then we can start with the discussion, and you can perhaps. Oh, there we go. It's coming on. Okay, we can see your calendar now, so you can just go to your PowerPoint.
Okay, it's saying loading the file in PowerPoint Live. I'm not sure how long this will take, but you still see my calendar on your side.
Yes, Kolile, it's your calendar that's showing right now.
Okay, maybe a few minutes.
Otherwise, what we can maybe do for the purpose of time, if Siyabonga, if you want to start with the oh, there we go. Okay, I see a presentation. Yeah. Super. Yeah. You can just put it on like full slide mode, and then we can go.
Full slide mode.
Okay, just right at the bottom, on your right, the bottom right, where there's 100%. To the left of that, right at the bottom, further down.
Yes.
To the
good day. Sorry to disturb. I'll share my screen so that you can be presenting, and then I'll click on next. This is my screen sharing.
Oh, this is your screen.
Yeah, it's my screen. So I'll click on next as I'm going along with you. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure.
So I can't see anything for now.
Can you see it? Can you see anything now?
Still blank as well.
Yeah, I can see it on my side.
Okay, maybe let me say stop sharing.
We can see it as well. I think everyone can see it.
Let me say stop sharing. Maybe it's because of that. I was still sharing my one. Well, please. Okay, maybe it's fine. Persona.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see the slide now. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So you can go to the second slide. Okay. I will just speak on the question that was posed with you. What was the need? Like what caused the initiation of the project? So back in around 2014-15, I was within the municipality at that time. The community of Emanzomini requested the bridge via the councillor because of they were struggling to cross over to the other side where they had like on the other side they had like a Umlazi township and this side of south of which is southwest on the other side of the bridge was can you go to the map as on to slide 3? On the other side of the bridge was like a semi-rural area of which it was like a boundary of a river that separated these two areas for a long time. So upon the request from the councillor of the pedestrian bridge, what happened was like municipality engineers or staff did do the feasibility study, of which it was done by another department in the municipality, of which is not structures who designed the bridge. So there were there were thoughts of that like at the beginning when the request came, they were that the community was requesting a road bridge, of which it turns out that when the feasibility study, because there is M25 bridge there on top, of which you can go with it to go on the other side. The planning department found that a road bridge was not feasible in their studying for this bridge. So the pedestrian bridge was an option for this site. So after that, the feasibility study, there were some other studies such as EIA that kicked in immediately after that request, like of which it involved the stakeholders, the community, with what they really want, like involving other people who were not the part of the requesting of the bridge, of which we have held some meeting with stakeholders, several meetings before this one that is showing on this slide. This one is when we were going to hand over to the community the bridge, like that we're gonna start the construction. It was a handover and letting people know that we are coming to build the bridge. So you can see the other side. This side is Emanzomini, of which is semi-rural, and the houses that are being there are recently, and it is managed by like authorities of like traditional authorities. So the other side is another story, the township, of which these people who have been like okay, it's an area where they thought if we are making a connection between the two community, we will have like crime that comes in, and there were stories about people who come on the other side to do housebreaking and all of that. So they would like that the other people, like there were two challenges, two striking things that other people liked it, that the the communities were not connected, but there were schools on the other side, shopping center, taxi fares that were not high in terms of paying, like when compared to the other route of going to the other side by Amazindodi, of which is a long route and it is expensive for the community. So the need for the bridge was shown that the bridge was needed because like these two communities had this big river of which they have made like a temporal bridges of which like it was not suitable for crossing, and when it's raining and the water levels are high, people were even taken like by this by the river, washed down the river. So to answer the question is like the bridge was really a need to the community for their safety and for connecting these two communities, and for the people to get some social facilities on the other side of the river.
Okay, thanks, Olile, for that answer. You touched a bit on the community involvement. Can you maybe just say a bit more in relation to the jobs that were created in the execution of this project, as well as the training that was given as part of the project?
The involvement of the community when we came there, like, okay, our eThekwini municipality contract has like a mandatory 30% of CPG that we need to give. A contractor is mandatory to offer job to service provider around the area, like or within the ward. So here there were two wards. On top of that, this community was separated by the river. This river is also a boundary. The other side is Ward 94. The other side is Ward 86. So it was difficult in terms of sharing the job, because Emansomin is Ward 94, and it is the one that they requested this bridge. And they felt that when we were starting working, but the site was gonna be on the other ward now, because like it is where we have the good access, if I can say, in terms of site camp storage and whatsoever. So like so as there are two communities, we had to do a PSC, of which is a project steering committee, of which it was effective at the start of the project, and it is the one that made this project a success, because there were like really difficulties and challenges at the beginning, of which we ended up saying, okay, it's gonna be like a 50-50 in terms of labor that we are hiring here. We're gonna take same number in Ward 94 and same number in Ward 86, because these words are like this bridge is like on the other side is Ward 94, on the other side is Ward 84. So like about 22 jobs were created for local laborers, of which it involves like intensive of like labor work. Like, okay, we had some job like gabions on this job, of which is labor intense, and it involved hiring more people and service providers. And like for the 30%, I think we have achieved like about 34%. Like 30% is the minimum. So we have outdone that minimum CPG participation that is set on our contract, of which people were helping with the steel fixing, local contractors with the steel fixing. With the like other CPG component went to gabions, of which it was done and supervised by the contractor. It was done by local contractors. The other job that went to local contractors was like plant hire. Many plant hire were like hired on locally there, excavators and TLBs when we need them. It was within the community. So that was a skill transfer that was happening between, because these people were like need to be supervised and the quality needed to be assured, which is good with what we had on our standard specification. Also, we have hired 2 students, of which the student that were still in Mangosuthu who needed the in-service training. So it was Umdeni from the other ward of on the side of the ward of Emanzomin and the Usbulel on the other side, of which we have trained them, like we're working with them closely as engineers from eThekwini Municipality. And the contractor was also giving them some tasks on site to be like the part and to work, such as like site inspection when we are doing site inspection, contract admin, sending us some like pictures of what's going on site and the progress. Reports that we have requested to them and show them how exactly we wanted them to do them, the surveying that is happening on site, all that skill transfer. They came out on that job knowing all of those things, of which I would think that was another like a good thing that we have shared with this project. Yeah, thanks.
No, thanks, Kolile. That sounds quite inspiring. I think we need more projects like this one. I'd just like to move on to a bit more of the design aspect of this project, and maybe Esona can just assist me with these questions. Can you maybe just take us just briefly through the various design options that you went through before you decided on the design that we see now? You can just talk about maybe the spans that you looked at, the material construction methodology, and maybe the costing that you undertook to decide on the final design.
Okay, thank you, Siyabonga. Good day, colleagues. Name is Esona Nyagambi. I was the resident engineer for the project. I'm not too into deep knowledge about the design aspects because I wasn't the designer for the bridge, but I do have an idea, tacit knowledge on how the design concept came about. Well, the initial design concept was a single spine pre-stressed reinforced concrete. That was the first choice that was taken due to the span. The bridge had to span over 90 meters. So it is more economical to go for like pre-stressing beams than reinforced concrete. But now there was a need to distribute the benefits further than usual, as my colleague Kolile explained, that we had to involve our community for the CPG, which is to increase the portion of the subcontracting available to emerging community contractors and to eliminate a portion of subcontracting. So a highly variable deck section is not ideal for a situation where the thermal effects are a major design consideration. And it also introduces complex creep and shrinkage. So we went for a H section as our design aspect. Well, this provides a web beam which acts as a parapet, which is more durable and more strong compared to polycrete handrails. Polycrete handrails, they fall more easily and they can be vandalized, especially in communities like we have in Glass. So the reduction in material cost is intended to reduce financial and environmental costs, such as carbon footprint. Yeah, so those were the design aspects that were explored between pre-stressed and also reinforced. So the option that was opted was the reinforced concrete pedestrian bridge.
Okay, okay. And steel was never a consideration?
No, steel is more expensive in actual fact, especially when you consider it in conditions where there's a river flow, easily rusted, and to some extent it's high maintenance.
Yeah.
It is the same as pre-stressing. Pre-stressing, we avoided it because it has to have bearings, and bearings are high maintenance also. They corrode more easily. And also the challenge that we faced with pre-stressing is that when there are high flood flows, the bridge can be knocked off and just topples off of the supporting piers. So a semi-integral bridge as the one that was built in Emasomi was the more ideal bridge.
Okay, thank you for that insight, Esona. In terms of the foundation system that you ended up installing, can you maybe just talk to us about the geotechnical conditions that your investigation revealed, and and what foundation system did you go for as your final solution?
Okay, so the initial geotech report recommended that we should have piles that will be necessary, and specialized H section that will be driven through the bedrock. But now, since as I mentioned, we had to involve community. So with piling, it's a specialized item as it on its own. So to involve a community, we decided to go for rock anchoring. And further investigation that we performed, we saw that piles were expensive and were not necessary, because we do have a bedrock outcrop that we found on site. So the option that we opted for was rock anchoring, which was grouted with dowel bar anchors. So that was the foundation system that we opted.
Okay.
Hi, Siabonga. If I may add on what Esona just said about the foundation.
Yes, please go ahead, Koleka.
Yes, thank you. I also like adding on what Esona is saying about being expensive of the piles. Also, there were no detailed geotech report that was done. It was a preliminary report of which it used some previous past geotech around the area. Not exactly like a it was just a desktop and a site visit. And the geotech also recommended that we do exploratory drilling to check where the rock is. It's what they exactly saying in their conclusion about the piling. So when we first came here, we did the exploratory drilling, like to drill borehole and check how far is the rock. And then on top of that, the rock was very shallow. It was gonna be like expensive to do the piling that was like very shallow, within 2 meters on some of the on the piers, because in each and every pier we have drilled a borehole, of which it has proved that this piling that was suggested by the report of the geotech was not like suitable foundations, of which we opted, like we only put these anchor bars only on the piles, and on our apartment they were just sitting on the rock. The reason for that, and also if you can look on those anchor bars, they are facing the direction of the flow. So why they are facing the direction is they are also like on the piers only, of which is where the stream is going. It's where the stream is going, and where we are anticipating that maybe the water and the trees that are coming up and everything of debris they can cause the bridge to topple or being washed away. So yeah, we ended up with the rock anchor and our base that are like 1 meter thick as well. Yes, that was just that. Thank you.
Okay, and then these rock anchors give us an indication in terms of the diameter and how deep they went into the rock.
Those are Y32 rock anchors. They were going about 3 meters deep into the rock.
Yes.
And it's grouted. So what's
Yes,
the
it's
overall
grouted.
diameter? What's the overall diameter of each?
So we're using a drilling pit to drill up. It was a 40 drilling pit that we're using to drill, but the diameter of the Y32, they are Y32, so it's 32 diameter bars.
Oh, okay, noted. And then in terms of the aesthetics now of the bridge, how did you decide on that, and who was involved in that decision as to how or was it purely just structural? Or can you just let us in on that decision?
This one is a tough one. Yeah, this project demonstrated how the technical problems that civil engineers must deal with are often the result of complex history, and it confirms the benefits of taking these difficult social dynamics into consideration when you're doing your planning and design. Like all bridges that we do in our branch, a background information documents was advertised in local, regional, and council newspapers. Pamphlets were distributed, placement of site notices, inviting written comments, giving interested and affected parties to have any comments that they may have. This dates back about May 2014. Yeah, it's 10 years back. So people were allowed to give their comments about the bridge and how they think it should look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Hi, Siabong, if I may step in, may I please ask Esona to just go through the slide show or go down as you speak to show other slides as well, because maybe people would be interested to see, and Siabong might catch some other questions while is going down the slides. Even the aesthetic of the bridge is towards the end on the slides, so maybe yeah. I may proceed, Siabong. Sorry for that.
Okay, I just want to maybe bring in Zibuse at this point. Zibuse, maybe the first question I need to ask you, I understand that this project encountered quite a number of challenges. There were floods, and the design had to change to sort of accommodate more labor, as it were. But you still managed to complete the project in time and within budget. Can you just tell us how you managed to achieve that feat?
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Yabonga. Good evening to everyone. Obviously, as National Construction, we are not a big company, and we a medium-sized company. And obviously, starting back from the item that the guys were talking about, which is the piling. So what we had discovered when we got to site, I've realized looking at the rock outcrops, and I said, doesn't it look like obviously the piling may be needed? As a starting point, obviously, that's where we needed to gain time, because obviously the piling would have actually taken us longer and require quite a lot of platforms to prepare. So which we have obviously is covered on a document in any case, but I think that alone would have actually, we've looked at that as an area where we can actually gain time. So considering the rock exploration, So what the guys have done, they've done the exploration, and then we discovered, obviously, the rock was only about 2.5 meters deep. And then an extra excavation was then required. And then what we had done, we had looked at and saying, we will achieve a faster results by obviously making sure that we don't get our excavation so saturated. So we have introduced the sandbag operation to put sandbags around, so that you can only get your water seeping through instead of getting your silt. So all our excavations were actually, barricaded, or should I say, with a band wall around using sandbags. So that actually what actually helps us as well to expedite in terms of to reach our time. Yes, we had quite a lot of rain, and I think it's about 4 occasions, if not mistaken, where we had disturbances. But I think within that time we were able to go back and then fix whatever the damages were. But I think to cover the other aspect, as a medium-sized contractor, so obviously we had to engage other contractors as well within the local community. And obviously it's our duty to fulfill the obligation which has been gazetted by government, to say we have to share the 30% stake within our project. So within that being said, and then obviously we still have to uplift and make sure that the young or upcoming contractors, we give them assistance. So we've done all that. Without them, obviously, we would have actually been able to complete the project on time, because obviously we needed to step up and make sure that we give them the guidance and give them the assistance where they need. So I think that's what's the main in terms of making sure that, considering all the challenges, and then we have to ensure that the project is still running within time, within budget. But yes, once again, on the piling aspect, there was quite a lot of savings, but obviously those savings were counter offered in terms of the deeper excavations plus the extra, draining of water or access in terms of putting the barn walls.
Okay, thanks, Zebuse. Just on dealing with the local contractors, was it a seamless interaction for you, or were there challenges and things that could have been done differently?
Look, I mean, our philosophy in this kind of games, okay, as I said, once again, as a medium-sized contractor, we do have the very similar concerns in regards to, if we went to subcontract on bigger contracts. So we would like to do the same, which, what we would like to see, every contractor that has to subcontract any works is got to only engage. The main point is to engage, and you engage and assist, because if we all put hands together and then uplift the other people that are coming behind us, so I think that will actually makes everyone to achieve every little goal. Yes, there will be challenges where you find that some people actually, they don't put a lot of effort. They want work, but they don't put a lot of effort. Those are the challenges that we normally face. But I think you always try and go along and make sure that whoever is willing to be assisted, you push that along. Because what I often find is the main problems are the finances. Every contractor will actually come through and then say, well, yes, I'd like to do the work. But obviously, when you find that, okay, well, you can start doing this work, but only to find the finance is not available. The resources are not available in terms of personnel. So those are the challenges that we all often find. But once again, I think, we also become in the same element in terms of, as with eThekwini, I mean, so quite helpful. I mean, so they pay on time. And then, yes, everyone would say, well, they don't pay on time. But I think this department that we've been working with, I must be honest in terms of the the way that we've been working. I mean, so the payments were coming quite nicely and on time. So those are the challenges that we faced with regards to the smaller contractors. But I think at the end of the day, I think we've managed to achieve our goal.
Okay, thank you. Sibongile, this will be my last question before maybe we open up to the audience to pose some questions. Just give us an idea of, how the community has, embraced this project, and, when it's completed, how it's benefiting them, and how it feels for you to have been part of this successful project.
Yeah, on our side, I think, from the inception, when we first started, and I think what we first done before while we were doing our setting out on the project, doing our clearing, and we constructed, I think as you guys saw, there was a small, call it like a footpath or just a crossover. It was made of poles, and what we did, we actually made them a proper, well, call it proper temporary bridge made out of steel beams. And that was our first reaction that we saw from the community, being so happy to go across while they are safe. I think that safety component was, I think, the start of the project, in the start of the community to see that, okay, well, we're taking care of them. And then because we've done that from the beginning. And I think at some point as well, you will find that, the older people used to go past the site and then, thanking our guys. And then even at some point, taking out their money and say, well, guys, go and buy some cool drink. That was really a good gesture. And then knowing that, if you look at, as Toledo was initially saying at the beginning, between the two communities, the distance from between the one community and the other community is only about a mere effect of about 300 meters. So, but however, people have to drive about over 10 kilometers to get to the mall on the other side of the river. So I think that alone, it actually added a big value and a good cost saving from the community. And I do think that, they were quite happy to see this bridge coming to fruition.
Thank you, Sibuse. I don't know, Olile and Esona, do you have maybe anything you'd like to add before I hand over back to Sibongile?
Siyabonga, I would like to add as well that on top of the people like community members appreciating the bridge, it also made an effect on the personally, like by motivating each one of us, like Esona. After this award, we were all like motivated. Even the other department in the municipality were all motivated by these awards coming to the road provision department. So it also on the project that we are doing as well, we also like try and we also like motivated about giving students who are in need of in service training of equity or just completed, and there is that 1 year, 5 years experience that is always needed when you are applying just fresh from the varsity. So on the current project, like there are 3 projects that I'm running as well. It is Pedestrian Bridge. We have motivated to our deputy head that we need to put a student here, 2 students, one from the locally, from the ward, within the ward, one from the university. Maybe we collaborate with the professors that we have from the university, and actually like the project started last year, so I saw there would be savings. So I said, why we don't make some variations on the contract and do and put the students on this so that they can see and have a bit of experience with the construction of what they are learning from the university. So that was like something that we did as well, like on a personal level. It did really motivate us to have a voice in the municipality, and when we motivating some for other things as well to be heard, of which it was agreed. So we have like 6 students that are working on these different sites, 2 per site. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Xolile. As for now, any final words?
Yeah, nothing much. I think my colleagues have covered much I wanted to say. Yeah, with the bridge that was constructed, I was mostly motivated that we have more bridges that are more aesthetically pleasing. So that is the design concept that I always put into account in new projects that I'm involved in. This bridge inspired me to do that and be mindful for such cases. Yeah, don't have much to say. Thank you.
Okay. I see that there's a couple of questions on the chat. The first one relates to. Oh, yes, please, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you. Just on my last words, I just want to say that, to thank eThekwini and more especially Perafentin, I think, the entering of this award, it was decided upon on the very first day when we started on this job. And I think once again, so listening to to Charlotte earlier, I think so for the similar, which is more on a community-based project, I will advise maybe a lot of young upcoming contractors to enter their projects on these kind of platforms, because they do help and they do motivate. For me, I mean, so it's the third one that I've actually won as a community-based project. So one was the Tsitsa River Bridge and Gwamsane access road, concrete access road. So I think this one here, I mean, so I was quite pleased to see, and on the third time, I mean, so, and you've got a winner. And at the same breath, I think they also mention, they keep on mentioning about students. And it's worth mentioning this part. We had the 2 students, which is Bulele and Mdeni. And I was quite pleased to see the way they were working. And however, Bulele actually left and went to work for somewhere else. And then I took over Mdeni even today. And then I still got Mdeni. He's running one of my sites. So what I'm saying, the value of this project, it actually says a lot. And there's a lot of value. There's a lot of activities that we saw, and a lot of developments that we would like to see. As what I'm saying is that Mdeni, I still like to see him growing even further besides this bridge. So as he's doing more my other projects, he's finished one of the projects as well. He's on another project now. It's taking him from being a student, and it's a local based student. But if everyone look at this as a motivation to say, even though I've been taken from the local community, but we saw a value because of his dedication. So, but being that said, I think in every project, I mean, if the municipality can do something similar, maybe contractors will every given time just pick that one person or that student and grow that person going forward. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Sibongile, back to you.
Thank you so much, Siyabonga. Thank you so much, Sibuse, Esona, and Xolile. That was very inspiring. I see there's a question. Did you attend to it, Siyabonga? The one that is from Uzweli in the chat box.
Oh yes. Yeah, the first question I think Esona answered, the one relating to the choice of concrete over steel. I think he mentioned costs, and he also mentioned corrosion of steel. And yeah, so but the second question, I don't know who's gonna handle it, but it relates to the flood level that the bridge was designed to. I don't know, Esona, can you maybe just give us insight there? Was it 1 in 100, 1 in 50? Can you just shed some light on that?
Esona, Xolile?
I can come in while my colleague is, I don't know. Well, as I mentioned, there were some specialist reports that were done in EIA. One of those reports was a flood assessment. On that flood assessment, like I think it has it told us that that report we should go like we did 1:100 in actual fact. So the height, it did tell us the height, how far we need to go in terms of the height in making this bridge. So it was designed on 1:100. And like there were some other floods, like like the floods were happened while we were still building, of which it was 2022. So it hasn't been tested on big floods. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Siyabonga. I'll take it from here. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who wants to ask a question? You can raise your hand and we can unmute you. Okay. Thank you so much. This was actually up until 6:30, and we thank you so much for being in the session up until this long. We will still be able to give you your CPD certificates. Please give us a bit of time, about a week. I should be able to give you those next week, and we will send those to you. But if there is no questions and nothing else in the chat, we will like to please close the session today. And I'd like to thank all my presenters, and I'd like to give a shout out to our CEO who was in here with us, also was very inspired by the chats. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for making the time, even though you were traveling. And thank you so much, Zibuse, Esona, Olile, and Siyabonga. Thank you for making the time out of your busy schedules. And Siyabonga, I promise I will say your surname correctly. It's Dubazana. You know, I've been practicing this, but yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you so much, everyone. Please enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Bongile. Bye.
Thank you so much, Bongile.
Thank you. Bye.
Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want telling me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap in no wrong. But it they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap in the rush. If I money with us, yeah. It they rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. For me, Jack Bata, I dey go Ghana. You never thought you dey see before. Cause hello me, got me feeling I'm the one. Ajay, can never take my cake away. Ajay, you can't count my grace. I just did my lane, my lane. You no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, no one hear what they want. Telling me could deny my fantasy. Don't want to check if my tap be no wrong. But see they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap be the rush. The kind money we touch, yeah. He dey rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. He dey rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap be the rush. The kind money we touch. He dey rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. There's no darling. Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like walk, but you must hustle if you want job. E no finish dem wan fight us. If dem dey run dem no fit catch up. I know dey form say I too righteous. No con dey form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, no one hear what they want. Telling me could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap be no wrong. But he dey rush well.
Thank you. I'm going to end the meeting now. Can I end the meeting, Sibo?
Yes, we may.
Thank you, everyone. See you at the next one. Bye. Okay. Okay.